Hi, my name is Sammy, and today I'm going to be interviewing a couple people who have been involved in the life of crime, and I'm going to also put some facts into the video that I came across, as well as get these people's opinions about a few things. So I'm going to be interviewing them and ask them a few questions. So let's watch the video and see what they have to say. Okay, so this is Felix, and we're going to interview him now. Well, my first question to you first, Felix, is what got you into the life of crime?
I guess it sort of started out when I was in... I got into high school. My grades were pretty shitty. A lot of my friends were, doing drugs and shit like that, and I was smoking a lot of weed kind of thing at the time, and then a couple of my friends were like, I guess their parents were involved in like harder drugs and stuff like that, so I started helping them out and selling to other people, and obviously I didn't see like a very high future for myself in high school and stuff, so I started helping those people out and doing other illegal stuff.
Okay. What was the first crime that you committed, and how old were you?
Man, it's probably grade 8. I was like 13 years old. And I had some weed, and I pretty much sold it to some of my buddies for like way too much. Fucking over.
Way too much?
Yeah. Well, they didn't know the price of it, obviously.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
So how would you define the word crime?
Crime? I guess doing stuff that's illegal, like you're not supposed to be doing, like what the law states that you're not supposed to do. Is just obviously it's crime, right?
Yeah. Felix, do you believe that you have low levels of self-control?
Low levels of self-control?
Mm-hmm.
Like what do you mean, like a spaz or what?
Well, sometimes you feel that you're out of control and you tend to, commit more crimes or do stuff you're not supposed to do?
Not really. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty in control most of the time.
You think so? Is that something you really believe, or?
Yeah, I guess whenever I get mad, I get super pissed off and I'll like smash stuff and like punch my walls and shit, but that's not like too often. Or if people like, I don't know, if you're walking down the street and people like look at you fucking weird, and then you like, what the hell? Obviously I get pissed off at them and I'll like lip them off or whatever, and sometimes I get in fights that way, but other than that, not really.
Not really. Okay. I was just wondering, like, I've heard, police treat criminals pretty unfairly. Have you ever experienced something like that?
Not really. Like, I think every time they arrest me, it's pretty by the book, right? They just kind of do their job kind of thing, but like, I've never felt treated totally unfair, because I know what I'm doing, and I know what's wrong and stuff, and I don't like to be arrested, but I've never felt like they use too much force. My buddy, who's First Nations and stuff, they kick the shit out of when they arrest him, kind of thing. Like, they were like, there's like, for me, it'll take 2, obviously. I'll go down and shit. But him, dude, they're like jumping on him, they're like slamming him and shit. Like, I don't know if it's because he's like that or whatever, like First Nations, but I just feel like they use like unnecessary force with some of them.
So you think they're pretty unfair towards minorities?
Maybe. I don't want to tell or say what they are or what they aren't, but I don't know. That's what I just see, right? So.
Right. So I just want to ask you about your parents. Did they usually push you a lot to study or supervise you quite a bit growing up?
No, not really. I mean, of course, they're like, I guess not really every other parent to say. They're always like, do your homework and shit, but I didn't really feel like they care that much. Like, if I just said, I could just tell them to fuck off or something like that. I'm not going to do my homework if they're not going to force me to do it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, yeah, I just didn't really feel like they care. My dad used to drink a lot, so it doesn't really he didn't really care and whatever, and he was too busy drinking or yelling at my mom or some shit to do anything. So I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't really study, and I didn't feel like they pushed
are
me.
you saying that your parents fought a lot growing up?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Do you think that affected you in any way?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it may have led you to a life like that?
Like what? Crime?
Yes.
Yeah, no shit, man. Like probably. I don't fucking know. Like, I'm not a psychologist or whatever. It probably led me to crime.
Yeah. So Felix, I don't want to make any assumptions, but if you have used drugs or alcohol, do you think it's affected you in a problematic way?
Not when I smoke weed. When I smoke weed, I'm way more chill and stuff. I think most people are and shit, but problematic, yeah. When I drink, like I get more aggressive and shit, or when I do coke, I get way more aggressive. But I mean, weed chills me out, so that's good. But yeah, anything else, it's probably not a good idea to do, kind of thing, because I'll get way more. It's most of the time it's angry.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you agree with the term to prevent is better than to cure? Meaning that we should intervene when, youth start to commit crimes before it starts to become a career for them?
What? What does that mean? Like, don't, save the kids before you save the other people? Or
No, meaning the exact opposite. You should save the kids before they, make a career out of it.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with you on that. Like, I don't know. I think before the kids grow up and stuff like that, I guess educate them more a little bit. Like if I was to do it again, obviously it would be easier if I was a kid and I didn't get into it in the first place. Versus now, like, I'm better than I was, but like it's still a lot harder to treat someone 30 years old and addicted to crack than it is to teach a kid that's like fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with that.
Kind of tying into the last question I asked you, do you think that, in schools that it's important for them to teach the kids about drug and alcohol use so that they don't use it when they're older?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's important. I mean, the more you push it on kids, the more they're bound to listen, I guess. I mean, once you're in it, you don't really give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like, whatever, it's school being school. But definitely, like as a young kid, push it on them big time.
Yeah,
And tell them not to do
I agree
stuff.
with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So Felix, last question here. It kind of ties into when you were bringing up your Native friend. If you saw him being treated disrespectfully like you did, are you less likely to respect the police yourself?
Less likely?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't. Fuck, most of them are pieces of shit. Like I don't really obviously like them, but yeah, if they're treating my friend bad, like, what do you fucking think? I'm gonna be all happy with them? No, dude. Like that's a stupid question. Obviously, I'm gonna disrespect them.
That is true. I mean,
Yeah.
it is more common for people to do that, so.
Okay.
Well, so Felix, thank you for interviewing with me today. I apologize if I offended you in any way, but thank you for being in my documentary.
Cool.
So.
Yeah. Do I get paid? Or...
So we've already interviewed with Felix, and now I'm going to interview Fatima.
It's Fatima.
I apologize. With Fatima, sorry. So let's begin. So Fatima, what got you into the life of crime?
I just started off shoplifting and stuff, shoplifting and selling the stuff, to make money. But as I grew older, I kind of just went to bigger things, I started breaking and entering, stealing stuff. I'd pull up on the people with my Glock. And
A Glock?
Yeah,
Sorry.
a Glock, I pull up on them, I gun down the people and steal their shit and leave.
So Glock, you mean gun?
Like a gun,
Okay.
yeah. It's a special type of gun I use. I always carry that shit around me, Sometimes it's my business, you know. I rob places, I sell them, I make bank, you know.
Like, what kind of stuff are we talking about?
I steal like expensive jewelry, you know, some clothing, because a lot of people own a lot of nice clothing and stuff. Just like expensive shit people buy nowadays, you know? Yeah.
How would you define the word crime?
Honestly, I think society defines crime. But I think crime is supporting your family, yourself. But I mean, if that's crime, then I guess I'm guilty.
So you're saying you have to do it to support your family?
You gotta do it, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to make the money. You know, you gotta support yourself, your family. It's just hard, you know?
Now, Fatima, how old were you when you first committed your crime?
Honestly, I think I was like 10 years old. That's when I started, you know, I was going to school, and you know, kids come in with like, you know, some Gucci things, you know, and I was 10, you know, I wanted those things, so I steal them from kids. I steal them, I take them home, and like, I do it for myself, you know, and like, then I started growing up, you know, a little bit, and I was stealing from like stores, you know, I was stealing makeup, sometimes.
For yourself?
No, not for myself. I was just only like 10 or 11, you know? I was stealing them from my mom, my sister, you know, because we're the less fortunate, you know? We can't afford that shit. So, yeah.
I understand. So I was kind of reading upon something. It said, you know, something about how minorities get treated poorly by the police. I see it on, you know, the news quite a bit. Do you believe that's true for yourself at all, or friends?
Honestly, yeah, you know, like, I get treated pretty badly. You know, they're very, like, rough, ruthless and stuff, and since I'm a girl, they, like, sexualize me, you know, that stereotype, and, like, it's terrible, like, just because I'm colored, you know, that's how they treat me, especially since I'm a female, they even treat me a lot worse, you know?
No, I totally understand. That must be really hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Do you think that, you know, children between the age of 10 and 13, I mean, you said you were 10 when you first started, do you think they know the difference between what is like serious crime compared to like, you know, just naughty behavior that kids do every now and then?
Honestly, like, you know, when I was 10, you know, I was like shoplifting from kids, right? I didn't think of it like as a crime act. I thought it was, you know, it's just a kid face. I feel like when kids do stuff that could lead to like criminal act, I just think of it like, you know, it's just naughty behavior. I mean, that's how I thought of it when I was little.
So you think all the other kids would think the same way?
To be honest, yeah. I mean, that's how I thought.
I mean, you probably didn't really know what serious crime was at that time either.
Yeah, I mean, you're young, you know, you think, you know, it's just a phase,
Yeah.
right? It's just naughty behavior or whatever, right? You just don't know.
So how do you think that we can control crime? Like, do you think we should put more police out there, or?
Honestly, like, I think no. I think there should be more like crime prevention kind of stuff, especially at a young age, you know, like me, like I wish someone stopped me, you know, especially the youth nowadays, you know, stop them or else they're gonna just grow up like me. Yeah.
So you wouldn't really recommend the youth getting into, you know, that lifestyle?
Yeah, I don't want anyone to live this lifestyle, you know? It's hard out there.
Do you think that there's a lack of activities for the youth, or, you know, space for them to kind of get away so that, you know, their focus isn't on crime?
Yeah, I think there is a lack of activity. That's, I guess, would say the main reason why I'm like this is like, you know, I came from a less fortunate family. I couldn't afford to go join like, you know, school sports or like afford like any like sport equipments and do stuff like that, you know, like a normal kid's supposed to, you know. It was just hard, you know. Yeah. You know, I was also raised in like a pretty bad neighborhood, you know. everyone there was less fortunate. We were the poorest neighborhood in the city. You know, I grew up around that too, you know, that affected me. I wasn't wealthy, I wasn't rich or anything, you know. I grew up around guns, I grew up around drugs, you know, alcoholics, you know, my neighbors were drinking every night, you know. I grew up around that shit.
So do you think it, you know, played a huge role in you having that lifestyle that you now have?
Honestly, yeah, you know, I see like some wealthy kids, you know, living the normal childhood they should have, you know, and I didn't get that childhood.
Fatima, have you ever been stopped by the police without knowing why? You know, just randomly stopped and searched?
Honestly, especially as a colored person, I've been stopped all the time. They're always double checking me, and you know, it's like sometimes they like threaten me too, you know. I see them put their hands on their guns, you know. I get scared, like I'm gonna get shot or something, you know. And sometimes I'm not even doing the crime, it's just out of nowhere, you know. Me walking to the grocery stores, they're like checking my bags and stuff. It's just not fair.
I understand. Do you think that happens more to like minorities compared to like, you know, whites?
Honestly, I think so, because like, you know, I see a lot of minorities go through this shit, you know. I'm not the only one. And then like non-colored people, like they get away with things so easily, you know. But yeah.
So, my last question to you here is, if you saw your friend being, you know, treated disrespectfully by the police, would you be less likely to respect the police?
Oh, definitely. Like, you know what? If my homegirl getting jumped, I'ma jump the police, you know? Honestly, like, people get treated like shit out here, you know? You always gotta back up your people, you know? Sometimes I always gotta pull up my Glock, you know, and show them what's up. You know, it's hard.
Oh, to the police? You
to
would
the
do that?
police, yeah. You know, they treat my friend so unfair, and I can't deal with that stuff, you know? So I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta back up the girl, you know? But yeah.
I mean, that must be really, you know, because you're doing it right to the police, so must be really hard to even...
Oh yeah, like, and you know, I get arrested for that shit, you know?
Yeah, of course, I would think so.
Yeah.
So, Fatima, I apologize, I think I said your name wrong earlier again, but
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for, you know, doing this interview with me and, you know, being a part of it. I know, like, sounds like you're going through a lot, and I hope things get better for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, sis. No problem.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys learned a little bit about what the opinion of a person that's involved in the life of crime, you know, kind of like what thoughts they come across, and I hope the facts that I put into the video also helped. So thank you for watching.